What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite blue guy here. A little bit ago, the server just announced via forums that the way their bug report system currently operates is going to change. They will be using a new reporting system that will, according to the thread, streamline the overall process and make things much easier when it comes to actively tracking bugs, gathering statistics, and handling critical bugs faster. Players also won't notice much of a difference when it comes to actually reporting these bugs. Now, this seems fantastic, right? I'd see no reason to complain about more efficiency to something like critical game-breaking bugs. That's not even sarcasm or anything. However, as a slight downside of these new changes, the bug rating, a rating that was said to be beloved by a lot of formers, has been removed. Now, this doesn't really seem like that big of a deal, and to be fair, it really isn't. I have next to no issue with these new changes to the bug report section. Okay, so why am I making a video on it then? Well, it may not be this case specifically, but this, along with some other changes in the past, have started to slowly push something to the side that I don't think too many players really think about nowadays. Player-staff interaction. Be it as small as it was, a bug rating was that player-staff interaction in action. Knowing it's a person that manually gave you a bug rating before replying to your bug report was a tiny little extra thing that helped to propel this interaction, and with that gone, even more of that interaction is slowly disappearing over time. I said earlier that this was a very tiny thing in the long run, but it definitely connects to much bigger changes, i.e. the new GM role, when it comes to player-staff interaction being dramatically reduced or maybe even flat out wiped entirely in the near future. I think player-staff interaction is something that a lot of people don't really realize until they don't have it anymore. A defining feature of the server in its prime was the amount of staff-player interaction for the size it was, and as more and more of these changes roll out, and as more and more opportunities for player-staff interaction get removed, it starts to feel less and less like an independent server and more like a Blizzard or Riot Games, which is coincidental since Riot acquired the studio for Hypixel. Might be an influence? I'm not gonna sit here and argue the efficiency of these new changes over time. They definitely work, and I also have to shout out those that still try to showcase that player-staff interaction. You know who you are. Some have even stated that they feel they've been able to interact even more than they have before. However, I still think it brings up a topic worth discussing. I've sometimes thought about whether it would be worth it to keep around one or two old systems, knowing full well they aren't as efficient as they could be, if it means keeping around some of that player-staff interaction. I can see either method being prevalent going forward, so I don't really have one opinion over the other, so instead I present this as an open-ended question to you guys. What do you guys think should prevail, efficiency or interaction? Is it worth it to not really know much about the higher-ups and just see them as faceless droids if it means everything is done quicker? Do you think that takes a certain personality away from the server or not? I'd really like to see what you guys' takes on it are. I did a similar thing on the forums and got some good responses out of it. Now I want to see what my YouTube audience thinks. As always, leave your responses in the comments, check out the rest of this TNT run game before doing so to give yourself some time to think about your response. I promise it ends in a very unique way, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace!
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him inside and outside.